NHL Nightly with your host, the sportsman, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, good. What are you?
I had Pearlo. I don't know what's going on. He's having some problems or something. So, well, I thought the Caps were going to make a game out of it, but they didn't. Welcome to NHL Nightly. I'm your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, a.k.a. The Sports Beard. You're on the Sports Beard channel, brought to you by Fans First Sports Network. You can download us on Spotify and Apple. With me, as always, is Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico and Barry. Pearlo, you're good. I don't know what's going on with your picture's not good, but you're here.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking ghost, bro. You literally look like a fucking ghost. Dallas just scored to go 4-1 on the Arizona Coyotes, 5-1. That game started off 1-0 Arizona. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Pearlo, we can see you and hear you, but you just look like a fucking ghost. Girlfriend must have kicked you out of your house, huh? All right, so yeah, Leafs come into Washington just getting off a long road trip, and they're winning that game pretty convincingly here in the third period. It does look like maybe the fans who wanted Domi to be up on the top line with Matthews might get their wish a little bit longer. He's looked really good. And good job fleecing the Capitals for that first-round pick to get Fraser Minton, because Rasmus Sandin fucking sucks. He was fucking awful tonight. He turned the puck over trying to do this toe drag move like 100 times. What is he doing? Like, I don't know. Oh, we got Pearlo. I mean, Pearlo, I'm going to bring you in. You look great now. Pearlo. So whatever.
Yeah, I can't get the virtual background for some reason.
You know what? You look good. That's fine. You can go. You're good without it. You look fine. You look better than normal. So it's good. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I was not really paying a lot of attention to the Dallas game once they were up 3-1. Have you guys been watching any of that at all, or?
I haven't. I've been watching mostly this Leaf game. I checked in on it once or twice. Then I saw Dallas just coming on with quick ones in a second. So that game just going exactly the way I planned. It's just hopefully I get all props on this game, because I nailed him in the Leaf game too. I love the Connor McMichael goal. Called him all day. Top line center in Washington. Got the goal. Got a couple for the Leafs too.
That was a beautiful goal too. Banking off the back. That was a really nice goal. Yeah. I mean, the Caps were probably lucky the Austin Matthews goal was offsides. I think that might have got the game got blown out. I think the Leafs took it personally, but whatever. I mean, fuck, he was like a foot offside. So what are you gonna do? I hate the rule. I wish they'd have got rid of it too. Matthews would have tied Mario Lemieux for the last time somebody had 7 hat tricks in a season. It is weird about Matthews, though, that he tends to like disappear for like that pass he had to Bertuzzi was unbelievable. Like, I mean, I'll tell you right now, the Leafs didn't look like they missed Mitch Marner tonight.
No.
I mean, the Caps, again, what are they? I'm trying to figure it out myself. Hopefully they can rally and figure out how to be in the playoffs. But, Detroit,
they played 6 games in 10 nights.
The Capitals? Yeah, I mean, their schedule doesn't get easier either. So,
yeah, but that's brutal. 6 games in 10 nights. I don't remember the last time a team played 6 games in 10 nights and travel on top of it. Like,
dude, that's gonna be the Carolina Hurricanes when they play Washington in Washington's next game. Look at how many days Carolina's played. I think they're doing like 6 and 9 or something.
Yeah, they've been playing really well though. I've watched them, and what I saw from the Capitals tonight, if they play anything like they did tonight. Oh, Oshie out again, by the way. I mean, just unbelievable how unavailable he is. I just don't get it. It's like he's destined for LTIR. I just don't get it. So we'll see. It's like, also we got just a kind of lead off the show with a little bit more somber news. We got the cause of death on Chris Simon. He took his own life, and I just wanted to spend like 15 minutes. No, just kidding. No, I was going to say this, though, legit. Like, we're getting a lot of people watching the show now. I really appreciate it. And I just want to share, like, I struggle with my own suicidal ideation. I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety and suicidal ideation when I was 34. I went to therapy for 5 years, man. It's not to be taken lightly. I've actually probably been through tougher times in recent years with the pandemic, but I was since, and therefore just like friends abandoning me and stuff like that. So I've actually really been glad I've had the coping mechanisms. So, like, if you know somebody that's going through a tough time, tell them to get help, tell them to talk to somebody, tell them to make the calls, get in front of a therapist. It's a good thing, man. And it's super sad that we lost Chris Simon, was 52 years old, man. I feel like he could be making a difference somewhere in the hockey community. So real big bummer, man. Feel really sad for him. Again, just want to say, my heartfelt condolences to his family. I know they probably have gotten it across the hockey world. Just a sad day for hockey fans in general and stuff. They've probably gotten it across the hockey. Sorry about that. I just wanted to pull up our stream on the other side, make sure we're getting the thing. Salty, thanks for being with us. Our mod, Salty. Appreciate you. I did invite the legend that is Hot Take Hockey to come on because the Leafs Caps play each other, 2 times a year. So we usually try to get together on his stream or mine once in a while. He obviously he hasn't been able to stream because he's working his butt off. He's just doing videos and stuff. So yeah. So it's gonna be a great finish to the playoffs. I think the West is wrapped up. I mean, I really think unless LA or Vegas fall completely apart, the East, I feel like the Leafs did score again. So did Matthews get his hat trick? Oh, John Tavares got an obligatory power play goal. Okay. I did think the officiating was not great in this game. I thought 3 or 4 slashes and hooks they could have called on Leafs. They didn't. And then they called a couple of soft ones on the Caps at the beginning of the third, which, whatever. It's just fucking par for the course with officiating this year in the NHL. It's like you can't get any fucking consistency at all. So I think the Capitals had 1 power play in the game, 1, and they scored on it. So, yeah, I think that's accurate. Am I off there? The Leafs are 1 for 5, and the Capitals are 1 for 1. Very rarely do you see another team get 5 power plays and the other team get 1. Anyway, but that's the way they ref them now, I guess. So, anyway, I'm going to be salty about this one. I would like to stick it into the Leafs just to hear all their fucking radio boys cry like Justin Bourne today, just fucking whining about the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, they cheated. Shut the fuck up. You sound like a fucking loser, JB. And you know what? You're not a loser. You're a winner. You got a great job. You got a great family. You're an author. You're an all-around great guy. You're not a loser. You shouldn't sound like one. I agree with you, Salty. The
reason why he got there is he knows the heartbeat of what is going to get people all excited. So I don't even think
I disagree. I think people want it straight. Like, I'm telling you, man, like the torch stuff. Every fucking show, and I'm going to throw the Daily Face-Off guys under. They play the first 30 seconds of Tortorella's 5-minute press conference. 5 minutes. Listen to the whole fucking press conference. He actually praises the entire team. Oh, the captain got scratched. That's happened a shit ton of times in the history of the NHL. Fucking Paul Maurice came on today and eloquently talked about how he scratched fucking Rod Brindamore. He was like minus 17. It's unbelievable to me. But they like Paul Maurice. They don't like Tortorella. And I'll say this to you, man. Canadian media, they don't like fucking Americans. They just don't.
They don't like Tortorella because Tortorella does not care about the media. And he doesn't give them what they want. So they have to work.
He's not required to give them an answer for everything. That's the fucking thing. But Sheldon Keefe gives the fucking Maple Leafs media, all 700 of them, a minute 20, and they're all like, "Oh, it's brilliant." And all he said was everybody was shit against the Flyers. Okay.
Remember when Cassidy won his Adams Award when he brought Boston to the finals, or to and Tortorella brought this ass Columbus team into the playoffs, and Cassidy got the Adams and Tortorella didn't. Remember that? Cassidy's from the United States. I'm pretty sure.
You know what Paul Maurice did say today on Real Kipper and Bourne, and I love Paul Maurice, by the way, nothing against him at all. Second winningest coach in the NHL. Doesn't have a Stanley Cup, but great guy.
But do you remember that?
Hold on. He said that John Tortorella deserves to be considered for the Jack Adams this year with the job.
Considered.
Right.
Philadelphia makes the playoffs. I mean, there's no consider. He gets it hands down.
He won't get it, dude. He won't get it.
I know he won't.
He won't get it.
No, he won't.
He won't get it. They are going to give it to Rick Tocchet, and Rick Tocchet, I think, deserves it as well. I think you could make I see you in the Mr. Sikora.
It's like McKinnon is going to get the MVP, and it's got to be Kucherov. It's got to be Kucherov.
Well, he just passed McKinnon. I think there's still a large chance that Kucherov could get it.
Let's put it this way. Take Kucherov out of Tampa Bay. Where are they right now? They're done. Take McKinnon out, and they got. I don't even like this whole.
No, Kucherov has like 45 more points than the next guy, because I think Point was banged up earlier in the year.
Yeah. You take Kucherov out, Tampa Bay doesn't make the playoffs. You take McKinnon out, Colorado's got a chance. They got a lot. He's got a lot more around him. I don't like this award anyways to begin with. I don't like the award, but if you're going to go by what the award is, Kucherov gets it all day long.
Well, they call it most MVP, right? The Hart, most valuable. Is it the best player or is it the most valuable?
They never give it to the most valuable player. Like I said, Ovechkin could have won it 5 times. He's won it 3.
Yeah.
They never give it to. You're telling me Taylor Hall, who was 5th in scoring. Okay, he was like so dominant on that Devils team. He had a bunch more points than that Devils team. But look, the Art Ross is the Art Ross. If you win the Art Ross, you win the Art Ross. It doesn't mean you're the most valuable player. You could make the argument that Connor Hellebuck is the most valuable to his team.
I think you could totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we talked about Hasek in the past winning 2 Hearts, and it was legit. Like, I feel like he's the last goalie that's legit won a Hart. I think, like I said, Price did not fucking deserve it. But, Montreal was good, so we'll see. I mean, like, I think it's going to be McKinnon this year, and you can get on Betway or something, one of those websites you guys have up there or over there or down there, considering where I'm at geographically, you can get plus 120 for anybody other than McKinnon to win it. That's not even that great of odds, in my opinion.
No, Kucherov's got it. What's the odds for Kucherov?
You know Kucherov's not going to get it, bro, because of the All-Star game and the fact that he's fucking Russian. He's not going to get it, man. He's not. You know he's not going to get it. Well, there's this underlining amount of xenophobia that I hear on fucking Canadian sports radio all the fucking time against Russian players because, I don't know, they're shooting rockets in Ukraine. I don't understand, man. They're fucking hockey players. What do you want from them? Tonight on the TNT broadcast, they showed the fucking 15 years Ovechkin's worked with handicapped kids in the DC area. It's like, yeah, the guy can't, he's a scumbag because he has a photo with Putin. Like, he happens to be from Russia. What are you going to do?
What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, I totally agree with you.
We're talking about hockey. I don't want to talk politics ever on this fucking show. I don't want to talk religion ever. But I'm telling you, Kucherov is not going to win the fuck. He's going to have to run away with the Art Ross to win it this year, I think. And I don't think he's not deserving, Pearlo. I don't disagree, but I'm telling you, I already hear, oh, it's got to be McKinnon. He's never won it, and he deserves it. And look, he fucking does deserve it.
Well, he deserves to be up there with where, like, if you go by the letter of the law or letter of what they're saying, Kucherov gets it all day. It's not even freaking close. If you go by the letter of what it means to be the most valuable player to your team, Kucherov gets it, and it's not even close. I like McKinnon. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, McKinnon does have Rantanen, Makar on his team, and, they have some good players there. Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, Stamkos probably going to the Hall of Fame. Victor Hedman probably going to the Hall of Fame. Andre Vasilevsky probably going to the Hall of Fame. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Braden Point probably going to the Hall of Fame.
Do you know that Kucherov has been in on 49.5% of the goals?
Dude, I heard that. I heard that from who tweeted that from the Leafs?
Yeah.
Was it Nick Alberga? Somebody tonight tweeted the Leafs between Willie Nylander and Austin Matthews, they've scored I don't know. It felt like 94% of their goals or something. It was like a ridiculous statistic. I should have wrote it down.
Kucherov,
and I was like, is that good? Is that good? Don't you want scoring? Yeah, no, I got you, man. He's killing it.
Almost 50% of the goals. And McKinnon's not even close. Not even close. I agree with you.
Half of Tampa Bay's goals, St. Martin says in the chat, Kucherov has scored half of Tampa Bay Lightning's goals. That's fucking ridiculous.
That's insane.
That is truly the definition of MVP, right?
Totally.
Tim York says here, let me get Tim's on the screen here. I want to read it for the YouTube, for the podcast. But Tim York says, good to have you in, Tim. Hart Trophy is awarded annually to the player determined to be the most valuable to the National Hockey League team during the regular season. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Tim. I think a couple of years McDavid won it. I'm not sure he deserved it because he was playing with Draisaitl. And I think you could make an argument that there were other players that were more valuable to their teams. And if you took those players off, they would be worse.
I agree.
Still won it. I think there is a little McDavid fatigue, which is not fair to McDavid. He deserves to get his accolades, and he's going to win. I mean, if I'm McDavid, I care about winning one thing and one thing only, and that's the Stanley Cup. And everything I've heard about the guy, that's where his mindset is. He only has 26 goals this year. He had 70 last year or some shit, 65. So
I don't know, man. I get what you're saying with all these point things with Kucherov, and I totally agree with it. Plus, he's leading the league in points right now. Okay, so I mean, you peel him off his team, that's gonna make the most impact out of any other team. There's no Rantanen in there. I mean, yeah, Braden Point's there, but then there's no Draisaitl.
Fucking Stamkos has 35 goals this year, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't mention Stamkos. Yeah, Braden Point would be the only other guy. I mean, then you got Sorellis and Hagels and Nick Pauls, and Stamkos is kind of faded a bit. You got nobody on defense except for Hedman. I mean, you picked up Dumba now, but man, Sergachev hasn't been there all year. He would have been feeding Kucherov on the power play as well, too.
Does Matthews sneak back into it if he gets 70?
I don't think he's. Oh man! I mean, after tonight, it looks like he's back on track. But
he had a 3-point night today, and he could have. Yes, I saw Rick. He could have had the hat trick, but Bertuzzi was like a foot off sides. And you know where I stand on that. I fucking hate that rule. They should get rid of it.
Especially that one because it happened about 40 seconds before the goal actually happened.
I knew you were going to say this. It was 24 seconds. That's it.
Okay, I didn't check, but okay.
Dude, if it doesn't come out of the zone, then it's offsides. Yeah. And I'm telling you, these video review guys, they don't even watch the game. They watch the entries. So they knew right away. What they should do is be allowed to buzz down that it's offsides, have the league review it, and just have the league buzz and stop the play. So before a goal's even scored, so it was offsides, boom, and then just reset, do a face off. Because honestly, I would be more okay with that than
Make it like the NFL first down line. You know, when you had that imaginary line across the field, just fucking have something like that goes off whenever somebody's offside. Done. Blow the play down.
That's what I'm saying.
I still think you could take the two linesmen and have them off the ice except for the puck drops, right? 49 goals left for Ovi Rick Smith. 49 goals. Right? He had 2 tonight, right? Or was the 2 made it 50?
I think Rico has it.
Domi had 4 assists tonight. Think he belongs on the top line?
Rico has it for sure. If you're going to use technology, use it. If it's offside, you put the freaking eye down the line, and if it's offside, it goes off, and that's it. Like, quit this bullshit.
Well, because there's stats that happen after that. So what happens if somebody was breaking some kind of record for shots on goal or something like that, but the play was offside, even though
tied the record.
Well, yeah, but even stuff that doesn't lead to a goal goes on the stat sheet for props and stuff like that with betting. Say Bertuzzi went offside there, but Matthews didn't score. And all of a sudden, Matthews got about 2 shots in that zone entry. Meanwhile, the play was offside, but he didn't score. But those shots count. Meanwhile, if the play would have got blown offside coming into the entry, all that shit that happened after, no matter whether it was a goal or not, for stats purposes, would not have happened.
The referees don't even have to pay attention to the line then. Just like tennis, where it goes out, they have an eye that goes on there, and they tell you you're offside. If the eye says you're offside, you're offside. End of story. Play gets called down. It's over. Stop this bullshit with the referees have to figure out all this bullshit and then have to go check it and blah, 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 blah. Like, I agree with Beer. Totally. But if it's offside, it's offside. You got an eye there, it's offside. Same as on the line.
This review tonight took no time. It took no time. They got it right really quick. Fucking Bertuzzi was like a foot offsides. That to me is egregious enough. Like, it's when you have to watch it for 4 minutes to see if this much of the skate. It's not offsides. It's just not offsides.
No.
But why is it only offside if they score a goal?
What Rico and I are saying is you wouldn't have to go through all that shit.
No, I know. I know what you're saying. You're talking about having like a chip in the puck that's somehow going to know that it's the first thing in before the other. I just don't know how you do it with the technology.
It's offside. Whether it's a goal or not that happens after, the play is still offside. So
no, I got you.
It's championship point in tennis or it's a point in the first game in tennis, it's still out.
You can do it immediately. If it's offside, there's a thing that goes off and it's offside. That's it. You can do it immediately. There's an eye that goes there.
Well, like I said, I think if you had the linesmen not on the ice, like, let's say their seats are like where they're looking through like a clear part of the boards, where that section of the boards is just clear glass, and they can see the lines on one side and the other, and then they come out of their thing when there's a stoppage in play. And then you get rid of the other official on the ice and you put him up in the press box. And Colby Cohen, I love him for saying this today. He asked Johnny Lazarus this question, and I haven't had the luxury of covering a lot of games from arenas, but he said, you can see the game better than anywhere from those press box. So why not have one of the officials up there to help out the other one? You should have the linesmen. They're watching, except for when the puck, they're down the line. They're watching what's going on to help the ref. They can always help the ref. You will because right now you have almost an entire team of refs on the team. There's 5v5 plus the 2 goalies. You have 12 players on the ice plus 4 officials. You have 16 people on North American ice. There's a real quick solution for this. Get rid of the officials on the ice, the linesmen, except for puck drops. They jump off like the players. They just skate off and get out of the way. You have one official on the ice and one in the air going, yeah, that was a hook, or no, that was, hey, what did you see? And he'll be watching, and I love it. I love it. It would be so good. Now, I don't know. We'll see. And as far as the offsides go, like, I think if the review takes longer than the play, You know, you got 60 seconds. If it takes you longer than a minute, it's onside. It's called the way it is on the ice, which obviously they're not going to review it if it's already called offsides because they don't do it that way. So anyway, I think we all have
because there's so much sports betting out there right now. I'm just thinking if that play didn't end up in a goal, that offside wouldn't have been called. And if somebody got a couple shots to hit somebody's $1,000 point prop in that sequence on that side of the ice when that play wasn't called, somebody's like, shit, the ref missed the offside call. Now I'm out this because that was my shot on goal prop hitting or something like that. So
I just put a fucking eye on the line.
Rick, the linesman can come out when the fights break out. Already they're breaking them up before they even happen. What are you worried about?
That's a good point.
They can come out. They don't just have to sit there on the sidelines like goons and not do anything, but they're off the fucking ice. The other solution is just make it Olympic fucking ice or hybrid ice, where you widen the ice a little bit. I don't know about you.
Who's gonna break up rolls?
You don't want Olympic ice.
It's not 1970 anymore either. We get like 2 fights a week.
You don't want Olympic ice, but I agree with the hybrid. Why didn't it? But
it won't do either, Pearlo, because it takes seats out of the building. I'm surprised they don't play on a postage stamp.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, I agree with you with the linesman thing, but without a doubt, like offside should not be, the ref shouldn't even be calling that shit. Just there's a buzzer that goes off.
You're gonna miss. Like, I don't mind that they miss. I'm just saying, like, it was fine before. Like, nobody ever lost their shit. Who would be crying that much? The Caps got beat 7-3. That Austin Matthews goal was not the difference in the game. Now, that being said, in the playoffs, fucking review everything. I don't care. You want to get it right, you want to get it right. There it is. It is what it is. I mean, and the playoffs are different anyway because they got commercials, more commercials and shit. So
there's a lot of betting on sports now, and they need to get those calls right.
Yeah, that's the big thing right there, isn't it? Right? It's the gambling. It's the gambling for sure. Rick, nobody fights like that anymore. You're out of your fucking goddamn mind, Rick. Rick, have a beer or something, bro. You're fucking sit this one out, man. Like, no, dude, we had one fight this week. It was Delorier and Reeves, and Reeves is hurt now because of it. And all the Leafs fans are like, yeah, he shouldn't even have fought. It felt staged and blah, blah, blah. He was doing better doing other things. And that's like, Rick, fighting has almost eliminated itself anyway because there's a bunch of soft-ass motherfuckers playing the game now. So, yeah, hit the like and subscribe, man. Rick, you're worried about these fucking line brawls that aren't going to happen, man. This isn't like the Ontario Hockey League, like, men's beer league division where you have bitches and brawls. It's just I miss those days to some extent. But also we just led the show with Chris Simon, committing suicide, and a large reason is CTE. And if you look, a lot of these guys, Bob Probert, Derek Bugard, these guys die very young. They're addicted to pain pills. They have brain trauma. Like, there's definitely a connection. I mean, Simon had 1,800 penalty minutes. I guess he had a couple fights, like they were talking about a game where Simon, I like just the dudes he fought. You think of like Domies and Proberts were still in the league when he was in.
Yeah, it's not just the fighting. It's the mentality that you have to do what they did. Like, it was freaking crazy, dude.
Well, like, just to listen to Darcy Tucker. Like, he said, he goes, I knew I had to play a different way. And he goes, by the time he got done, when he got traded to Colorado and stuff, he was like, he just didn't have it in him anymore. He wasn't around his family. He's like, he goes, I had to get up for that shit, So, like,
I know. I like fighting in the league, but on the same note, like, it's
going away just because of how society is now anyway. Like, the league's never going to have to get rid of it because it barely happens. I'll say the one reason I think it should be kept in the game, because cheap stuff happens, and I'd rather see a fight to have a clean game of hockey where you're not seeing a lot of hooking, grabbing, smacking stuff, stick play. All it's all stick calls now. It's all stick calls and stuff. Like they don't even call real penalties half the time. They miss guys getting boarded from behind now because they're so worried about a guy getting hooked because he's so fast. It's, yeah, I mean, in the playoffs, they play a little bit tougher, but you're not seeing as many fights in the playoffs either, Rick. It's just not that way. It's chippier, but there's just, they're all over it. I'm just saying, like, if you get the fucking linesman out of the way, already the linesmen don't play in the O zone. They're not there. They skate into the middle. I'm just saying, just take them off the ice until the puck drops. And then one is on one line and one is on the other. And their job is to watch the line. I think some of those refs have lost the fucking way because they get too involved in the players talking shit. Let the players talk shit to each other. That shit will work itself out on the ice. Also, Jeremy Roenick said this years ago, they should mic all the players up and sell it on pay-per-view. I'd pay $50 a month to watch hockey where I could hear the players and not the play-by-play. How unbelievable would that be? Unbelievable.
Yeah, stop swearing, though, unfortunately.
No, you wouldn't. It would be you paying for it. It'd be swears. It'd
be rated R. You'd have to be 18 years old or older, just like R-rated content. Yeah, exactly.
Jeremy Roenick said hockey would be the #1 sport in a week if they did that. And I don't disagree. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm telling you, we need to be selling this game because I read today the WNBA is catching on hockey in the U.S. right now for TV ratings. That is sad as shit. When 1994 happened, hockey was on the verge of being right there with the NFL. Right, they were beating the NBA at times because the NBA, Jordan had retired. He came back. So the NBA got their boost again, but the NHL took all their momentum from the 94 Cup, the Rangers win in the #1 media market, and they went on fucking strike. And it's brutal, man. Every time they get momentum, they kill it. So I hope to God we never see another labor strife because I want to see this. I
scored, by the way.
Yep, LA up 1-0, and it is Marc-Andre Fleury in net for the. Yeah, it's not Wild. The Wild didn't score, Andrew. Hey, by the way, we have kind of counted this team out, have we not?
Who?
LA.
Could they not be with their fucking depth at center alone? If Pierre-Luc Dubois shows up in any way, shape, or form,
could they? That's where you lost me.
No, I know, but didn't he show up for Columbus that one year in the playoffs against the Leafs? And they beat them
6 years ago.
Right, but was it 6 years ago?
Probably.
I thought it was 2020.
Was it?
It was the bubble.
Yeah.
It was 2020.
I should have said almost 6 years ago.
4 years ago.
Dubois,
like 3.5 more likely.
Dubois you're talking about? Yeah. When
he's on
out of the equation. You still have Deneau, you still have Kopitar, and you still have who's the other guy? And Byfield's looking like
Don't know.
I praised LA's center depth all year. From the start of the year, I praised LA's center depth. And the playoffs are a different animal, and it's something Pierre-Luc Dubois sometimes needs to be motivated, it seems like. Some nights he takes off and he's just not interested in playing hockey or interested in the game or his head somewhere else.
Who does he remind you of, actually? I kind of think he's a little bit like Anthony Mantha. All the ability in the world, and you just never know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah. You're right back.
Who does he remind me of? Dubois. That's a good question. I'd have to think about that for a bit. A center that is Dubois like?
I said Anthony Mantha. I know Mantha's a winger, but Mantha scored more points than Mario Lemieux in the Quebec Major Junior League. People thought this guy was going to be a really impressive NHLer, and he's a big guy. And look, I like all like about his personality and stuff, but he just kind of disappears at times. And again, too, man, once you show you're not a top line guy in this league, there's so many guys that are. You'll lose time, and once you lose that time, you're not going to put up points because the top line guys are playing so much now. So
I think
all
there's
right.
I think there's a lot of centers you could come up with that like had
Okay.
the talent of Dubois, but not the heart. I think there's lots. Well, Hayes, here's a good example. Hayes.
Right, but I don't think Hayes doesn't have the physical abilities that Dubois has. Hey, Spicy 4K, what's up? Thanks for joining.
I think he does. I think he could be just as good as Dubois. I think they kind of line up perfectly. If he actually had the heart of like a Couturier, Hayes would be like one of the better centers in the league.
I will say though, I did want to come off this Tortorella thing a little bit. Brandon Dubinsky tweeted out something, and I respect the hell out of Brandon. And he played for Torts in New York and Columbus, I believe. I think by the time Torts was in Columbus, though, I think Dubinsky, his career has been over for a while. Like he had some really bad back injuries, so I think he was under contract for a couple more years. And I know he lives in Columbus now. He's an Anchorage, Alaska kid. He's from here, so I don't know, man. Like I kind of tend to agree with Dubinsky, man, on this one. It's like maybe he just tells Couturier, hey, man, you're struggling. We're going to play you 20 minutes a night. I'm paraphrasing what Dubinsky wrote, but you can check it out on Twitter. I'm going to play you 20 minutes a night on the PP, on the PK. Just push you out there. You're going to work through it and get it done. Because, dude, you don't want a Selke caliber defensive center out of your lineup, especially against the Leafs, and in fairness to the Leafs, this year they haven't played great two ways, but the last few years, like, they were one of the top defensive teams from forwards and stuff. It's not fair to call it. I think the thing about the Leafs is, to me, and Rico, you're the Leafs fan, and you watch I watch them a lot, dude. I watch a lot of Leafs, and I just feel like they lack intensity at times. It's almost like they're an ADHD team. They're like, sometimes they're just like, nobody could beat that team. And also, like, dude, let's face it, do they have Stanley Cup caliber defensemen on their team outside of Morgan Riley?
Well, I was surprised and very happy. And this came in later in the day today that they finally sat down TJ Brody. I know he's been going through a lot of stuff off the ice, personally stuff too. So you hate to see
what's going on there.
But
what's going on there?
I think his wife was dealing with health problems, and somebody else, like brother-in-law or something like that.
Yeah,
there's some stuff going off the ice that's been happening for a while, and the guy just seems worn out. He's played in every hard situation for the Leafs over the time he's been there. Brody's out there in the last 9 minutes. I think penalty kill in front of the net, moving guys out in the most key minutes that the Leafs were playing on defense in the regular season and the playoffs. Brody's been on the ice, man. So yeah, it takes its toll after a while. So maybe a little break, and that's going back to Tortorella.
Why not?
That guy's been
Rico, real quick before we get off the Leafs defense there.
Yeah.
Why not? Why? Like, I wouldn't play Giordano the rest of the fucking season. I would cut TJ Brody. You're going to play half the games we have remaining. I would even pay him maybe 75. I liked what Kipper said today. Put these guys in situations to fail. And if they do, when you get into clutch time, you know who can do it. But put them in there and give them a chance to learn and stuff too. You got some young guys. Play them guys. I think Connor Timmins could be. He had a really good beginning of the season, and when Riley was out last year and stuff, I know that a lot of guys stepped up there. I just think you give those guys rest, and then we might be eating our words on the Leafs, man. And look at how good they look without Marner right now, dude. I'm not saying Marner is a bad player at all, but sometimes you have too much offensive shit and you need it somewhere else. Imagine if the Leafs had $11 million to spend somewhere else on that roster. Like, get a back end right shot D that can play with Morgan Riley.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a perfect time to do it right now. The Leafs are stuck in the muddy middle where they're not moving up and they're not moving down. So move guys around. Look what they did with Domi tonight. They put him up with Matthews, and all of a sudden
that's where he should be playing.
And he's been playing well. So sometimes when you're on the road at home, different teams, different matchups when it comes to the playoffs, you got to stack 3 lines and spread it out sometimes. Sometimes you got to stack the top line, maybe top 2 lines. So moving those D pairs around too is a great idea. I mean, Connor Timmins is full of piss and vinegar right now. He hasn't really played, and Brody's fucking worn right out. So
I'll tell you right now,
swap him out.
Connor Timmins looked a hell of a lot better than Rasmus fucking Sandin did tonight. I can tell you that fucking much. Fucking Rasmus Sandin. And the thing about Rasmus Sandin is when he looks good, it's like, oh my God, this kid is good.
Oh, as soon as he went to Washington, I'm like, oh, Christ, he's getting all these power play points and he's playing wicked. And yeah.
So, all right. We got to preview the games, guys. We got to preview the games.
Rick Smith said that they're tougher because of Domi, Bertuzzi, and Edmondson.
Yeah, I like those guys, man. I like those.
You know what? Domi played well for Dallas Stars last year in the playoffs.
He did.
He came alive, and Bertuzzi played amazing for Boston in the playoffs.
You're forgetting, but Domi's on Pearlo's all-Pearlo team, along with Kevin Hayes and Pierre-Luc Dubois and Matt Dumba.
You know what the thing with Kevin Hayes? If Kevin Hayes was making $3.5 million a year, nobody would fucking talk.
Isn't that what he's making now? Because he's making like that. Yeah, look at his.
But I think because he signed that big deal in Philly, people just
bought him out. They bought him out. Yeah. All right, we got 11 games tomorrow to preview.
So we better get.
Oh, there's a fight right now. We got England versus. Is that? Oh my God! England is giving it to this guy.
What are you watching, Crochet?
Middleton. Yeah.
Middleton.
This is on TNT as well. For you guys. Yeah, and that Dallas game is over, right? Did that Dallas game end?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Oh, yeah, 5-2 final. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys, speaking of which, before I move off the Dallas, Arizona, I don't know if you guys have been following it, but it looks like Arizona may have a stadium lot. They have to win the auction, but I think if that doesn't happen, Utah, here we come.
Before you go on, I love this fight. Okay. England gave a clean hit to Middleton.
Yeah, clean.
But
not Middleton, Johansson, Marcus Johansson. England annihilated Marcus Johansson along the boards.
Oh,
and Middleton,
okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought it was Middleton.
No,
so
Marcus Johansson, former Capital.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
a tough team. Tim York says Minnie has 35 fights. Yeah, they got Marcus Foligno. He'll bang. Dumbo's not there anymore, but he would bang. Middleton obviously banged. I did think that was a clean hit by England, and he shouldn't have had to fight for it, but I don't disagree. Oh, damn, dude. They're chirping each other pretty good, too. Again, if we could hear all this, it would just make this game more popular, man. I'm telling you, the NHL just needs to bite the bullet and say, we're not for everybody. This is what we are. We're a bunch of fucking farm kids from Canada, Midwesterners and New Englanders from the Northeast. We swear, we fight, we fuck, we play hockey.
Yeah, dude, hockey fans are a different breed than any other sport. Hockey fans are a different breed. Like, look at how many views that Bellows video got when Bellows was on the ice and Kevin Stevens on the bench is like, fuck you, Bellows, you fucking hero. Fuck you.
No, that wasn't Kevin Stevens. That wasn't Kevin Stevens. That was Brian Trottier.
Yeah, Brian Trottier was sitting beside Stevens. Like, fuck you, you shit fucker.
And Trottier always gets asked about that in every interview. The kids, you'll go into a building and kids will be like, oh, you're giving it to Bellows. Like, he's like,
hey, you're a real hero, Bellows.
Yeah, he's giving it to him, man. Like, now, that shit wouldn't have flew in the 90s. But, dude, I think it would have made the sport even more popular. Wouldn't it turn some people off? Yeah. But I'm telling you, all it would have done was grow fans. I mean, dude, look at the UFC. All the biggest fights are the ones where the guys talk so much shit to each other. Like, I mean, there's sometimes you get good ones because the fighters are good, but really for the most part, like even the good fighters have to be able to sell a fight now. Sean O'Malley, shit like that. So, all right, let's start talking about
They get paid based on pay-per-view numbers. They get paid on pay-per-view numbers, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. But hey, man, like if I go to the hockey players and say, hey, the fucking WNBA is about to pass us in the U.S. We need to sell this sport and its stars, man. That's why I'm telling you, like, It's bad that McDavid plays in Edmonton. If he played in fucking LA or New York or even Florida, I mean, dude, it would be incredible. It'd be like LeBron playing in Toronto for you guys, just to give you guys like an example of what I think it would be like for the sport of hockey in the U.S.
Totally. Yeah, that's why I laughed when there were so many people saying it's rigged because Edmonton got McDavid.
I don't think he wanted to go there, if you ask me.
Well, you look at his face; he was like,
yeah, he didn't look like he wanted to go there. But I bet he loves
it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's a perfect. All this rigged bullshit. If it was rigged, he's not going to Edmonton. There's no fucking way. Like if you pulled all the owners of the NHL and said, where would McDavid go?
I think Buffalo was the other team, though. I think Buffalo was the other team. I think the league probably considered that a wash.
Yeah, but even then, I still think.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if they went to Buffalo, I don't think they would have been that ecstatic. I'm sure they would have been fine with it. Obviously, the league doesn't care. But, I mean, like, those markets. I mean, Edmonton's a better market in Canada, right? But how many people live in Edmonton?
1.2 million.
Okay, but not all of them watch Edmonton when they're playing.
Exactly.
So I wonder what they draw nationally in Canada. I'm sure they still probably draw like 2 million viewers.
They're not drawing any more viewers because McDavid is in Edmonton.
They're not? People aren't tuning in to watch McDavid? Rico, you don't flip on the Wednesday Night Hockey or Hockey Night in Canada?
Well, I'm saying not from Edmonton anyways. You know what I mean? Like maybe more viewers will watch because
they'd be watching anyway. You're saying they'd be watching anyway.
Yeah, I'd be watching anyway. So you're not drawing in any more people. Like Dallas would be a great place, or like you name it. Like Edmonton was the last place the league wanted McDavid to go to if they're going to rig it.
So
Arizona.
Brandon Sikora. They did show a lot of Blackhawks games early, and then they got caught with a few scheduled in the middle of the season after he got hurt. So that's kind of hurt too, man. And like Chicago's a big market. I can tell you they were pleased as pig shit when he went there. Because what was the second? Who was the number 2? Was it San Jose?
It was great kid, Carlson. Yeah.
Oh no, it was Anaheim was 2. And Fantilli with 3, and then 4 was Seattle. Yeah, for Bedard.
Anaheim took Fantilli at 3.
No.
San Jose took Carlson at 2.
No. Pearlo, stop. Anaheim was number 2. They took Leo Carlson. Fantilli.
You're right.
Yes, I know I'm fucking right. I know I'm fucking right.
Leo
And
Carlson
Anaheim drafted Carlson. Fantilli was not drafted by Anaheim, Pearlo. He was drafted by the Columbus
Blue Jackets. Right.
Yes. And he's actually had a pretty good year, man. He's had a decent year for them, considering how fucked up that franchise is. Let's get into the games. We got a lot of games. We got 11 games to cover, and we've already almost got it out. So
let me share this out so everybody can come in and check it out. Go ahead.
I tweeted it twice, so I feel like I did my part. Rangers at Bruins. Plus 114. Rangers are road dogs. Man, Rangers coming off kind of a rough loss, too. I think I like the Rangers in this one. Go ahead, Rico, while Pearlo's doing his tweeting.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple. Pardon me with this one. Rangers.
Runners 5.5, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah. This is four games in 6 nights for the Rangers, and this is a weird spot for them too. Like they had home games, then they're going to Boston for a quick one, then they're back home. So it's kind of a weird spot for New York to go into Boston, and Boston's on regular rest. So just quickly looking at it, I'll take the Bruins there. I know you can go either way because both teams are really good and they're playing.
So you're on the Bees, and I'm on the Rangers. Pearlo, who do you like?
Yeah.
I like the Bees too, but I like the under more. I think this is going to be a tight, really difficult game for both teams. The Rangers aren't going to have their legs all that much, but I agree with. It's a tough spot for the Rangers. The Rangers may be the better team, but the Bruins are in a better spot. So I'll take the Bruins money line. And I think this is going to be really tight, like seriously under, like 2-1, 3-1,
Okay.
something
Yeah,
like
that'll
that.
be good.
Yeah, good call, Perlo, because both teams
6-5.
have great goalies.
6-5. It'll be 6-5 now that you said that.
Yeah, the only thing is with those low-scoring games is just be careful on the props. I know, there's props on both sides you can take, but when you're leaning the under, watch the props. Even though in other games you're taking, Geeky, DeBrusque, you're taking these guys that have been paying well lately, and you're taking Roslovic on the top line and a few guys on the Rangers as well. So if you're thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game, maybe just lay off the props a little bit in this one.
It's going to be quick against Allmark too, right? Like probably that would be what's going to happen there. Quick against Allmark.
Tim York likes to draw. Let's go to Flyers Hurricanes. Flyers are a plus 195. Road dog, I don't know. And over under 6. Hurricanes all day for me. Perlo, go ahead.
I mean, freaking Tortorella's a freaking genius. Now Couturier and everybody back in the lineup, and he kind of got them all sparked up there. And it just so happens they're playing Carolina next, which has a lot of Philadelphia, Brenda Moore, of course. But I think Carolina spanks the shit out of him here. I think this is he got that one win, but I don't think he's getting.
Yeah, that was the last card to play, man. He can't do anything like that again forever, really, honestly, in my opinion.
He played that card, and they're going up against Carolina, and he knows that he's going to. This just tells me that he knew that he needed all of his guns. He rested a bunch of guys against the Leafs, so he had all of his guns against Carolina because he knows the likelihood of them beating Carolina is very small. So, but
hold on, that was Kevin Fiala, by the way. I'm sorry, Kevin Fiala. If you had Kevin Fiala, he's good. Go ahead.
If he's gonna win, he's got to do what he did, and that's why he didn't want to talk about Couturier and why he scratched him and all that kind of stuff like that. He tried to scratch his big guns, so they had all the guns that they possibly could to beat Carolina. But even Tortorella knows they ain't beat Carolina. Carolina in regulation -1.5. Carolina's going to ruin them. That's my take.
Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big emotional win for Philly. So probably having Couturier back in the lineup, it's, it'll probably give the team a bit of a boost, saying, we can win. Look how we played without this guy in the lineup. Now we're going to get this veteran guy back in here. The only thing is Philadelphia is coming into a stretch of games where they're playing some competitive teams over the next 3-4 games. So, I mean, Carolina's went to Long Island, then they're coming back home against Philly. Then they go to Washington the next night. So this is a front end of a back-to-back. So you're probably going to see Freddie Anderson and Ned here. And the Flyers are in a weird spot too, man. They're like at Boston, home against Toronto, at Carolina, then they're home against Boston again on Saturday. So both teams are traveling here back and forth.
I'll say this again. If you're Philly, don't you want to miss? Like, you're trying to rebuild. Don't you want to miss?
Then you can take the other side and say there's gate money for ticket sales, and then there's experience for all your young guys playing in playoff games when you weren't supposed to be there. I mean, the draft pick compensation is not going to be any different from 4 spots down.
No, I got you. No, I'm with you. Yeah, that's why I asked. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, I mean,
so
who
do you got? Who do you got? Flyers or Hurricanes?
I mean, I'll take Carolina because I'm not getting in front of them. They're racing for the division against the Rangers, so it's Carolina.
I'm just going to speed it along a little bit because we got a lot of great games to talk about, and so I want to talk about all of them. The next one is I'm going to let you lead off too, Rico. The next one is the Islanders Red Wings, the two teams that are trying to miss the playoffs the best. The Islanders and the Red Wings. Rico, take it.
Yeah, huge playoff implications here. The Islanders lost 5 in a row. Problem with the Islanders is they can't score if their top guys aren't scoring. They got no depth scoring. They just benched Engvall in the last game. They aren't producing, no depth. This is another quick trip that's sandwiched in for the Islanders as well too, but it's 4 games in 6 nights for Detroit. This is their last game before hitting the road, but Detroit lost 5-3 last time they played the Islanders, so I'm going with the Red Wings all day here. They just need to start playing like they finished a game against Columbus, because when he started that game, they did not look very
favorite in that game. No favorite in that game. I got a goal scoring prop as I update you to tell you that the LA Kings have gone up 3-0 on Minnesota. This is surprising.
Wow.
A lot of people were on Minnesota today. Anyway, that was Victor Arvidsson. I think his first goal since he's been back. So nice goal there, 3-0. This is probably the nail in the coffin.
And Jonas Brodin is out, which is a huge defensive player for Minnesota as well too.
I thought he ended up being in.
No, he got hurt.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he's banged up. He just got hurt in like the last game, Pearlo. So that was kind of a bad loss.
I didn't take a side here. I took the under 6, and it's not looking good. Anyway,
you're talking about Islanders wings? Are you talking about Islanders wings, or are you talking about Minnesota?
I'm talking about this game, but if you want for Islanders wings,
yeah,
sure.
6.5 is the over under. Rico's on the wings. No favorite in this game. They're both minus 108 for the Islanders, minus 112 for the Red Wings. That's how bad they're both playing.
Well, the Islanders got a better goalie with less scoring. The Red Wings got a shit goalie with more scoring. Like, it's just something's got to give you.
That's pretty much in a nutshell what they are. One's got good scoring and a shitty goalie. One's got no scoring and a great goalie. But Sorokin's been mid this year, man.
Yeah.
Out of my fantasy team, he wasn't even. I couldn't cut him because he was such a high pick. I would have cut him because I didn't need him. I had other guys playing better, So I had Swayman, who I got like a lot later, and he had a great year. He's had a great year. So Rico's on the Red Wings. Pearlo, you said you would be on either team, but you like the under?
Sure. I hate this game. These guys both. This is two teams that you don't know what the fuck you're going to get from.
I mean, I have to say, Tim York said,
give me the draw.
You like the draw?
Yeah, these teams are so like these are two pussy teams that
I'll just say this.
They're too afraid to win. So I'll take the draw.
Let me give you this. Tim York says New York Islanders and under the 5.5. I'll hear you, Tim. The Islanders have been brutal, dude. I watched them in the game against the Rangers. They couldn't get up for a game against the Rangers. They looked dreadful. They actually had a lead in that game early, but they lost 5-2, and the Rangers were the best team the entire game, even though the Islanders had a lead. And there was some bad goals let in, Tim York, for sure. There was a couple bad goals that you wouldn't see Sorokin normally do. Anyway, I know the Wings have been bad, but they won their last game. I like Rico's on the Wings, Pearlo. You're on the draw, and Tim York likes the Islanders, so you've got something for everybody in the chat. I would not touch the Islanders right now. They look.
Take some props. You know who's got good game going right now with Larkin out is Raymond. Take some Lucas Raymond props for Detroit.
I take Brock Nelson to get his 30th goal. I take Brock Nelson to get his 30th goal. Just these milestone goals.
I heard Larkin might be in this game, and if he is, then I'm on Detroit.
Oh yeah. Is he going to be back? Oh, I did not hear that. I heard none of that. Where did you find that for me? And tell me where you found that, because I have not seen that.
It was on.
Let me go to the next game. Sabres at Oilers. This is pretty much must win for Buffalo too. Like tonight, I think Minnesota, they couldn't afford to lose this game. And I think Buffalo can't afford to lose against the Oilers. But boy, they're playing really damn good. And UPL has been the best goalie since January 1st in the NHL. Like, holy shit. I like Buffalo here, plus 180. I think the Oilers are due for a letdown. They've been playing really good hockey, so they're due for one here, I think, on home ice even. Now watch, the Oilers will win like 10-1. But I like Buffalo at plus money here. Pearlo, this is your hometown there. Not your hometown, but where you reside. How are you thinking about Oilers Sabres on this one?
I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo surprises Edmonton here. They don't get to play Buffalo all that much, and Buffalo's playing with a lot of balls, with a ton of balls right now. And like you said, Luukkonen is really good. Edmonton doesn't need this game all that much. Certainly, Buffalo definitely has the determination factor to win this game. I'm trying to look it up here. How many games have they been on the road, though? The 3 games in 4 nights is going to be the tough part. It's going to be the tough part here. They're playing 3 games in 4 nights. Seattle to Vancouver, and then you got like a 2-hour time change, and you're going to Edmonton with 1 day off. It's going to be tough. So, give me the under. I think.
All right,
I like.
You're still talking about this game? I was gone 20 minutes. Rico.
I like the under.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of games for Buffalo, and Edmonton's on regular rest. The thing is, the Oilers are watching this LA Kings team win 3-0 right now, and if LA wins this game, they're going to have 83 points. The Oilers are sitting at 86 right now. So this is not a given that that Edmonton should be sitting pretty right here.
If you're LA, by the way, you don't want home ice because you suck ass on home. You want to be the road team. You want to be the 8th seed. I think LA's best chance to do anything in the playoffs is play the maximum amount of road games because they're unbelievable on the road and shit in LA. Don't know what it is. But go ahead, finish your thought on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, Edmonton does have something to play for here, so you're probably going to see Ukko-Pekka and then against Pickle Peppers or whatever hell you call them.
Picard?
Oilers, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen to Pickle Peppers.
Pickle Peppers. That's what Luukkonen against Skinner.
Yeah, that's a tough road trip. A lot of guys talk about that flight around Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Seattle. When you start flying around those areas, especially at this time of year, that takes its toll on you a little bit. I've heard.
Dude, it's starting to become the Bermuda Triangle of the Northwest because you go up there and you're going to get maybe 1 win because Seattle still plays tough. Vancouver's the best team in the West. Edmonton's going to whoop your ass. You're going to get murdered by the Winnipeg Jets. You might squeak out a win against the Flames, but they haven't been giving teams games away. They've had a few stinkers here lately, but I'm telling you, man, it's like the Bermuda Triangle, the Northwest now. I know Winnipeg is like central part of the country, but they count as the West. And you throw Colorado in there, it's a meat grinder. Now, California is not as bad as it once was because Anaheim used to be a meat. LA was a Stanley Cup, and the Sharks were competing every year. So those 3 teams would just chew you up and spit you out too. I mean, I remember when the Caps would go on West Coast. If we took 1 of 3, I was like, shit, yeah.
Honestly, all the respect to Buffalo here because of the way they've been playing. But I think they're just not on regular rest right now. And Edmonton's flying across the country to Toronto. So, that's a long flight to leave coming off a loss, especially after LA getting beat Minnesota tonight. And they're only going to be 3 points ahead. So I think it'd be a lot easier flight to Ontario if you just take care of Buffalo tomorrow night, especially if Buffalo's going to be a little bit tired. They got younger guys, so they can handle it. But then again, younger guys, you're getting into the depths of the season as well, too, where they played a lot of hockey. So
you both are on the Oilers, and I would take a flyer on the Sabres at plus 180.
I didn't say I was on the Oilers.
You said the under. You said the under?
The under, yeah. I said the under. I could see Buffalo. I could actually see Buffalo winning this game for the very reason why Rico brought up. They got Toronto after this. I seriously don't think that Edmonton gives a fuck about Buffalo in this spot. I don't think.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Edmonton, it's where you want to drop a game because is it Edmonton in Toronto or is it Toronto at Edmonton?
No, they're going to Toronto.
Yeah, so see, to me, Edmonton in Toronto is a big deal for McDavid, and I know he tries to play his ass off when he's there. So that's going to be a great game. By the way, that's can't miss television right there, right? With Matthews, and Marner's going to be back. No, probably no, but Matthews, McDavid. Anyway.
Wait a second. Before you go on, I'll give you a prop here. Take McDavid under points.
What's the 1.5? Is it 1.5?
It's probably 2.5, or I don't know. But
McDavid under 2.5? Dude, I'd take that all day. What's the odds on that?
Yeah, I would even go under 1.5, but let's find out. I'll look it up here for you.
If it's a low-scoring game, I could see it happening, but I don't think it'll be a low-scoring game.
I think it will be. I think it will be.
Well, I think it's beneficial to Buffalo if it's a low scoring game.
Yeah, I do.
That's what they need it to be.
That's why
Yeah.
I think Buffalo could take.
Yeah, I probably won't put any money on Edmonton here just because of the price you're going to have to pay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay a hefty price to take the Oilers, and this could be a sneaky spot for sure.
Well, that's why I like the Sabres at plus 180. There's money to be had. You throw $5 there, you win some cash. You're up 3 times what you had.
I just think that I wouldn't want to be flying across the country off a loss. It would just be, maybe the coach won't let you have beers on the plane stuff. And that just
Rico, you can tell us what your thought process is. You can just say what you feel. Like, it doesn't matter.
Especially being 3 points ahead of LA after LA.
Yeah, I just don't think Edmonton is really going to catch Vancouver. I think the likelihood of them catching Vancouver.
Well, they don't want LA catching them.
Well, that's true too, because LA is not. But I'm telling you, man, like, if I'm Edmonton, you might want LA to be in the 2nd seed. Because, again, they play like shit at home. And you could be up 2-0 going back to Edmonton. Edmonton needs to have a short series. They can't be grinding out a 7 game in the first round with a really difficult team. I don't think they have the depth to survive any significant injuries. Ekholm goes down, they're effed. McDavid goes down, they're effed. Draisaitl goes down, they are, I don't know, they're bead.
No,
I don't know if they're effed, but they're bead. I don't know. I would be worried. I think of the Stanley Cup contending teams, they have the fewest margins of error, even though they have Jesus Christ on skates.
By the way, this series has gone to the under 4, 5, the last 3, 5 of the last 6. This is an under series. Also, I didn't even know that.
That's awesome. You called the under already. That's because you're one of the best handicappers out there. Subscribe
and remember,
to picks.com. Leave a like, subscribe on the SportsView channel live 4 days a week. The entire hockey season. We may go to 5 during the playoffs, probably, likely, maybe 6 days a week. I don't know, because it's the fucking playoffs. But there'll be breaks and stuff, so but I'm going to maybe cover playoff. We might do a few live streams during the playoff games too. And then, of course, I am going to the Frozen Four on the 11th of April. And we will have a stream live we'll probably have a live stream, and I will try to get some onboard guests. I'm going to try to get some hockey guests while I'm there. We will have a stream maybe that Friday in between the national championship, live from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm telling you, tell your friends, if you like hockey, you like talking hockey, we will get back to having people on. Tim, you'll come back on. For right now, I'm only going to send the link to come on to people I know's verified Twitter accounts. So I have to know it's you. You have to prove to me it's you, like with a picture of your driver's license, essentially, because we've got some issues that we have to work through. Pretty much been handled, but like every time we think it goes away, one of the little spammers bots or whatever, phishing bots comes in and is like, oh, we didn't get our refund. Yeah, we know, because we didn't take any money from you, so see you later.
Buffalo just beat the Oilers March 9th, by the way.
Oh, by the way, I got to give props to St. Martin. I think you said this before I even brought it up. The Sabres-Oilers are an under series. So
but that's awesome. St. Martin.
I didn't see that in the chat, so he already.
No, you're fine. But Pearlo, you knew to look it up too, because dude. This is why I love having you guys. Rico, you follow the Red Wings pretty hardcore. You follow the Leafs pretty hardcore. I follow the Kraken pretty hardcore, the Golden Knights pretty hardcore, the Florida Panthers pretty hardcore. I've been following Carolina now that Kuzi's there pretty hardcore. Obviously, I watch the Caps hardcore. I watch the Rangers hardcore because my wife's a Rangers fan, and I watch the Kings hardcore. So those are the teams I'm like really hardcore into watching. Like if they're on, I'm watching them. I have 5 screens that I'm watching shit from. I can do a split screen on my TV in 4, but it's easier for me to do it on 5 things because I can switch in and out and and the iPads. Like I had 2 when we started. So, all right. So you guys are both not sure on Edmonton. I like Buffalo outright. Rico was Edmonton, but Pearlo was like the under. Now, Rico, I think you've talked yourself into maybe being on Buffalo or the under.
I don't know. It's just Buffalo just beat Edmonton March 9th as well, too. Little redemption game. But I do like the under just because Edmonton's going to have one foot on the plane and the other foot on the ice. And Pekka Luukkonen has been playing well, so they're not going to want to just have this as a high-event game. They want to make sure everybody's healthy going into this road trip out to starting in Toronto. So, yeah, I kind of like the under in that game, too.
Yeah, really interesting, man. I'm going to be on the Sabres at plus 180. Blackhawks at Ducks. Pearlo, the Blackhawks are a road dog at plus 105. I almost like the Hawks here. This is going to be Bedard versus Carlson. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm taking the Hawks plus money.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, plus 105
No.
Hawks.
Rico. No way. And Anaheim all year. Anaheim just lost to Chicago 7-2 last week. They're going to be pissed the hell off. This is a revenge game for Anaheim. They've lost a bunch in a row. This is an Anaheim spot just to basically play for something. There hasn't been anything to play for a while, but this team just ran you out of the building 7-2 last week. So revenge spot. Anaheim's going to play hard.
This is one of the few times Rico and I will disagree. I think Anaheim will not play hard ever.
Rico, do me a solid. Put a $5 on a Troy Terry assist prop to get his 30th leading 30th assist for the Anaheim Ducks. Tell me what odds you can get on it. Put a $5 on there for me. I think
I'll take the. This is an over 6 too. This is a 6.
Yes, it's a 6. Ducks Blackhawks is over under 6.
I like that better than any side. This is an over for sure. Yeah, I'm putting for sure over for the same reason that Rico said. Anaheim will come correct, but I don't think they're going to come correct enough. But that's besides the point. Over 6 for sure.
Awesome. Canucks are hosting the Canadians. The Habs are plus 240. Man, I haven't liked the Canucks as of late. I don't think they've been that good. What do you guys think there? Nothing. Over under is 6.5, by the way.
Yeah, the Canucks are on this like majorly long homestand right now.
They are.
So it's they're at home for. Yeah, so
what's that gentleman's club there in Vancouver that everybody goes to?
I don't know. The Roxy?
Yeah. What's the one in Toronto called? Somebody goes, oh, did you go to blah, blah, blah?
Oh, Brass Rail.
And the Brass Rail. So remember I told you I ran into a bunch of those guys from Moncton. They all went to college together, and I hung out with them for part of the day, and they were crazy. And they didn't invite me, and I'm glad they didn't because I wouldn't have been that interested in going anyway. But I guess their buddies like, yeah, the Godfather was on one, and this dude dropped like $700 in an hour there. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's like a casino with boobies, man.
No, that was for the boobs, I think. Anyway, we know where the gentlemen's clubs are, and this show is not afraid to talk to them. Leave a like, subscribe, check us out on Spotify.
Before you go on, you said he dropped $700 on boobs.
Okay, Pearlo, do not fucking interrupt one of my promos for the show. Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Right in the middle of a fucking promo for the show.
Promo it again, and I'll ask you.
No, fuck off. Let's go. Canadians, Canucks. I want to get done with this shit. Canadians, Canucks. What do you got?
I'll just go right now. I'll take Canucks puck line. That you're going from Calgary to Edmonton over to Vancouver. I mean, it's flying around that area. I don't like it. I mean, Montreal played a really good game against Edmonton. You're probably gonna have to lay a shit ton of juice on Vancouver, but take some Pierre Suter, Hoglander props because they're probably playing with Pettersson. There'll be some goals in this game, I think, but I'm not taking Montreal in this spot.
Yeah. I mean, Montreal's going to give you a top 5 pick. So that's what I predict.
Yeah. I'm taking Vancouver puck line first period. and then I'll think about the rest tomorrow. But I think Vancouver comes correct in the first period, and Montreal's going to be like just coming off the plane, blah blah blah. Yeah. So I'll take Vancouver puck line first period.
Yeah, and this young kid, Joshua Roy, that's been scoring some goals for Montreal, all of a sudden he's hurt now too. So
Oh,
he's
man.
kind of a little bit of a bright spot.
Yeah, I read a little bit about that Joshua Waugh kid who was like a highly touted coming into like the junior league, that he was drafted really high. And then he was like a 5th round pick, and he's like really fine. Dude, I hope he tears it up. Like,
Yeah,
I want to
man.
see, hey, you know, I don't particularly hate Notre Dame or like Notre Dame, but I always feel like college football is so much better when they're good. And I feel like Montreal, when they're good, like when Boston, Montreal are playing, Toronto and Montreal. I know, Rico, you're just sitting there dreading, like, you don't want Montreal to be good, but it just is so much better for the NHL.
I don't mind. I don't hate Montreal. I don't hate them because I got a lot of Quebec and French Canadian friends that cheer for Montreal. The town I grew up in was basically divided between Montreal and Toronto fans. So like I grew up around them and their buddies and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah. No, I love it, dude. I love it.
it.
I love it, man. I wished I grew up in an area like that. Not that Montana sucked. I love Montana, but they just don't love hockey like I do. Pearlo, do you like Canucks or Habs in this game?
I said Vancouver first period puck line.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. You said Vancouver first period puck line. Yes. Okay, let's go right to Seattle. So give me Seattle Kraken at Golden Knights. Seattle plus 160. The Golden Knights have not been playing well. And Pearlo, you had, by the way, bravo, everybody you know, if you listen to this show, Pearlo was on the Tampa Bay Lightning the entire time. He gave you the winner. He does nothing but throw out winners. Like, that was a great pick, Pearlo, and I like Tampa because of what you said. Who do you got here with the Seattle Kraken visiting the Golden Knights at plus 160? And the over-under in that game is 6.5, I believe.
No, it's 6.
No, 6. My bad. 6 per DraftKings. Go ahead, Pearlo.
Seattle's going to be really pissed here. I just feel like this is like a Seattle come out and like kind of feel like they win the cup and take out Vegas, blah, 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 because they know they're out. So like they got nothing to lose. I mean, if I were to take a side out at plus 162, I may take Seattle here. But one thing I know for sure, this is over all day. If it's a 6, I'm taking over all day. Probably my best bet of the night. This is going over. Your
best bet of the night is the over for Seattle Golden Knights. I'll put that out on a tweet.
Remember my last one that I said was Boston. That went way over too, right? The Boston game, I said it was way over. And I feel the same way about this one. This is over 6 for sure. And I'll put a little bit on Seattle because they got nothing to lose now. And Vegas has tons to lose.
Yeah, and they've kind of been worked by Vegas the last 2 times. And, dude, after the goaltending I saw, even though Hill's got decent numbers, 912 save percentage, 2.6 goals against, he let in one of the worst goals I've seen get scored in that game against Tampa. So I would throw plus money on the Kraken all day. Rico, how do you feel?
Yeah, the problem with the over there is Seattle scored 4 goals in their last 3 games. So, like, where's the offense coming from?
Well, Vegas is going to score.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're clicking you over there, like, what do you think in Seattle's team total is going to be? I mean, do you think Seattle
I can see a
2?
A 5-2
Vegas will need 5 then.
5-2 game? 5-2 Vegas?
Maybe. I mean, the only thing is the Golden Knights have already confirmed Logan Thompson in that too. I mean, he gave up 1 goal on 21 shots to the Devils.
Logan Thompson's been good for them as of late.
He's played pretty decent in his last start, and I always like the teams that confirm the goalie nice and early like that as well too. It's like Montembeault the other night in Edmonton. I was like, what? They're confirming this guy pretty early in that, just maybe formulating a game plan and stuff. So I like Vegas here. Seattle's got nothing else to play for. They'll probably play in front of their home fans, but going on the road against a team like Vegas right now that's trying to mesh together with their new guys in the lineup. Tampa was a bad game. It could have went either way too. So I'll take the Golden Knights here, probably first period to win the first period and probably full game as well, maybe to win in regulation. I know what you're saying, Pearlo, that Seattle, it's like their Stanley Cup and stuff, but this game means a hell of a lot more to Vegas.
That was the Winter Classic. Remember, we live streamed for that, by the way. That was the Winter Classic. That was the Winter Classic, and they won that. It was the first time there was ever been a shutout in the Winter Classic.
Yeah. I know what you're saying with the over. It was 5-4 Vegas, basically just like less than a week ago. These teams played each other too.
Yeah,
it was 5-4.
I like the over too.
That was the heartbreaking game. That was the one where Vegas came back and beat Seattle when Seattle needed that win. Remember, and they lost it.
Yeah, that was when we were saying.
So that loss was so heartbreaking, and then Seattle's lost 3-4 ever since. So I get what you're saying, man. That Seattle might be a live dog here because they might be going balls out. So like Pearlo said, I kind of do like the over here just because of the pace. It's probably going to be set because of that. But as far as the side goes, I'm not sure because Vegas is probably not going to be worth putting the money on what they're going to be fetching here in this game. So I'll probably stick with the over now and play a little something closer to the game when I get a little bit better feel. And I know
I'll just give a little bit more. I know you brought up that the fact that Seattle hasn't scored much for the last couple games, but that's because they were playing tight. They actually thought they were going to be in a spot. If you saw the last game that Seattle played, they were frustrated. They knew it was over. They knew it was over. When they lost that game, they know they're done now. So when you're going up against Vegas, you're not going to come in here and play tight, man. You're going to go balls out and just try to have some fun and win a freaking game. That's the reason why I like the over here. That's the reason why I like
and plus 160 on a team that doesn't have anything to lose. The teams playing with house money tend to win. So our friend St. Martin is on the Kraken money line as well in the chat there, St. Martin. Let's just go right into the last game. Rico, why don't you tell us if you like Lightning or Sharks? Don't spend a great deal of time on this game, please.
Oh God, Lightning first period puck line. I think Sharks are coming off a bit of a road trip too, so take Lightning. They're banking points. They need points. Take Lightning first period, Lightning puck line, Lightning team total. Don't overthink this one.
Before you go, Pearlo, answer me this question if you can with your little Betty calculators that you guys got there. What would be Kucherov on the over points in this? What's his points line? Like 1.5, and what would if you picked over the bet you could get? By the way, LA just scored again, 4-0. Man, rough. I wonder if this is going to be Marc-Andre Fleury's last year, guys. But anyway, Pearlo, answer that question for me if you can.
I don't think Tampa Bay runs up the score here. I actually think that
answer my question. Can you give me that odds? Can you give me odds? Or Rico, can you give me odds?
Well, over 1.5 points for him. It's going to be.
What's the odds for over his point total?
+1 over 1.5 points. It's going to be like plus.
It'll probably be around plus 110, close to even money probably.
Oh, really? It'll be that low to go over 1.5 points. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that'll work. Okay.
All right, Pearlo. I wouldn't play that here.
Okay.
I would play their lower lines because I think, like I'm with Rico here, I would take alternate puck line. Tampa Bay is going to get up and just shut them down all the crap. Like, it's not going to be pretty. San Jose doesn't have a chance here. I would take San Jose under 1.5 goals. You might get that at +125 or +130. I don't think San Jose is scoring nothing here, and I think it's like 6-0, something like that. Tampa Bay has everything to play for. They're not going to be undervaluing San Jose here. They need every game. They're going they're in playoff mode. They're not going to undervalue anyone. Yeah, this is going to be an absolute horrible beat up for Tampa Bay over San Jose. I'm totally with you.
And if you're San Jose, quite frankly, you want to lose anyway.
Who cares?
I mean, you want to lock in that Macklin Celebrini kid.
But the only thing you don't want to do is just be despicable on home ice so people don't even show up while you're
that's already
happened
at
the end of the year.
That's already
I know,
happened.
but if San Jose will sort of play a little bit at home, but on the road they're just checked right out because they're not
okay.
building.
All right, we're done talking about San Jose. Let's spend 5 more minutes on San Jose than I wanted.
No, but that was a really good point by Rico. Actually, that is.
Yeah, but we're done talking about San Jose because we're going into final thoughts because we've been going on for an hour and a half, and Daddy wants to eat. So
do I, actually.
So we're going to end the show. So why don't you give me your final thoughts? Go ahead, Pearlo. You were talking. So if you want to waste it on San Jose, you can totally do that by just complimenting Rico on his San Jose take.
Okay, I'll go to my hero. I would if I could if it was like socially respectable to do so, I would have a live full poster of Tortorella. Tortorella is my favorite human in the NHL today, and I love the fact that he did what he did with Couturier. I love the guy altogether. The guy's got remember it was early on in the season he said, we may not win every big game, but we got balls.
Yeah.
Remember that? He quoted that, right? Yeah. And so what did he do? He freaking benches Couturier. Could you get more balls than that? This is a guy that not only does he say our team has balls, he has the balls. He will do the things that he doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks or how you think about it. And the only reason why he went to Philadelphia is because he told them, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. And I love him. I love this guy. I think he's one of the greatest coaches of all time and one of the greatest personalities in sports, not just hockey. I think he's fantastic. He has balls. And this team in Philadelphia, and you know what? I love him so much. I've underestimated him his whole career. That's the reason why I love him. I took Philadelphia to bubble in the beginning of the season. I should have took him to make the playoffs. Because
nobody had him making the playoffs, Pearlo. Nobody did.
Yeah, but I should have.
Philly fans would tell you they didn't have him making the playoffs.
But nobody had him to bubble either. I had him to bubble. I thought they were going to have a chance. So the guy, every time I underestimate that dude, he freaking goes over the top. I think Tortorella is up there with the greatest coaches of all time. I fucking love him.
I mean, that Tampa team might be one of the most least talented teams to win a Stanley Cup.
Absolutely. Feaster, the general manager at the time, said before the season started, he thought they were 3 pieces away at least. And they won a fucking cup.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Andreychuk was long on the tooth. I always felt like Vinny LeCavalier was the player that never lived up to the hype. Marty St. Louis was the guy who was like the undrafted dude that was like, unbelievable. It's so funny how like the new Tampa team is like Stamkos. You could make comparisons to St. Louis. I think Stamkos probably a way better offensive player, but probably St. Louis was, or not St. Louis. Cavalier was actually probably a better defensive player than Stamkos. I feel you.
He's one of my favorites. Stevie Eisman too, but he's one of my favorites of all time. And just to go a little further, he brought a Rangers team to the finals that had like a terrible possession game. They outshot locked the whole freaking league. Yeah. And you're not supposed to win like that.
Yeah, you know I mean? He does not get credit for, and I think the job he did in Columbus too was incredible. That upset win against, I think the win against John Cooper changed how John Cooper coached. That first round upset, in my opinion, will go down as the greatest upset in NHL history for a really long time.
Yeah, and
in
Tampa
recent
Bay
years.
and Toronto too. Like he beat Toronto too, but Tampa win was huge. Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, that's my final thoughts. Love Tortorella. If I could have a life-size poster outside my door, that would be.
We might be able to make that happen if we ever make some money on this show. I will actually get a life stand-in Tortorella thing that you can flaunt behind you, so you don't have to worry about your background. Rico, you have the floor, my man. You're on the big screen. Give us your final thoughts.
Holy geez, how do you top that one? Something that I read today was kind of cool. Now that I've been living in Barrie for the last 20 years, there's a guy that was born in Barrie that's had a really good extensive NHL career, and I'm so happy for this guy, and I'm happy that he's on a cup contending team. A guy that won the Norris in 2017 that's played over 1,400 games, man. 71 points in 102 playoff games. I'm so glad he's playing on a team, and I want this guy to get a fucking Stanley Cup this year, and that's Brett Burns, man. The guy's been a solid player during his career. He's been there for 20 years now. So I just reading up on him and his story and stuff like that. 20 years, runner-up for, 3 other times for the Norris too. So
just to augment your Burns thing, I saw that stat line that you're talking about where it showed Burns' career games. He was in Minnesota for like 7 years. He was in San Jose for 11 years. I could not believe I was blown away he's played in the league that long. I was like, Ovi's up there in games, like 1,500 games. I'm like, holy shit, Brett Burns has been around as long as Ovi. Like Brett Burns came in 2003. So he's just aging like a fine wine.
And he lives out of an RV and stuff. Like the guy's crazy outdoor.
I thought he had like a 200-acre farm.
He does, but he travels around and he stays in Walmart parking lots and stuff with this RV when he travels and shit. Like he's just one of the most out there guys there is in the league, and probably have so many stories, man, playing with that guy, and he's probably a great teammate too.
And he's extremely underrated defensively. People try to say that he's no defense and all that. Absolutely not. He's like a 50 percentile on defense. He always
reminded me of. He reminded me of the guy who was a forward who was really good offensively, but their team was stacked, and they're like, "Hey, would you play D for us because you're so big?" That's what he sort of like Bufflin,
Yeah, because he started as a forward.
Bufflin was the other way. They had too many defensemen, so they're like, he played forward for Chicago, and then didn't he play D for Winnipeg? So I don't know. That guy's had a crazy career. All right, well, I feel like that's a great
one thing before we leave.
Yeah.
I know St. Martin mentioned it in the chat, and this might be a good idea whether we do it tonight or moving forward, is maybe a best bet at the end of the night.
We got it, and I'll tweet it out. It's Pearlo's pick of the night, and he likes Seattle over.
Okay, and mine's St. Louis in Ottawa. St. Louis is playing pretty good. Bennington's going to be against Korpisalo. I love the St. Louis Blues. You're getting a good price on them.
Did we skip that game?
We did. We didn't talk about that game.
Well, shit. We can't end the show now. We got to talk about St. Louis, Ottawa. Go ahead and give your pick of the game, Rico.
All right. So both teams are 4 games in 6 nights. The travel spot's a little weird for both. I know the Blues got a losing record on the road, but Bennington against Korpisalo, St. Louis is fully healthy. They played well against Colorado. They should have won that game, but they didn't. Colorado and Rantanen just took over with his hat trick. So you're going to get a good price on the St. Louis Blues. Take a Jake Neighbors prop in that game. He's been pretty good, and he's paying well. And Brady Shen, he's been playing up the lineup as well. So look at Brady Shen props as well, too, because you're going to have to pay too much for the Thomas prop, and Kyrie's been a disappearance lately. So,
yeah, I like the Blues plus 110. That's my pick for this game. What was the over-under in that one? I'm sorry. 6.5. Pearlo, who do you like?
I like that pick. Frick. But I got to take a different one. And
we missed 3 games. I know what I did. We missed 3 games. So we got 2 other games we got to talk about. Okay. You like my pick?
Well, I already said you said that the pick I was talking about, the over, what was that?
It's 6.5, I think. 6.5, right?
No, it's 6.
6.5.
Oh,
6.5. Blues Senators, the over-under is 6.5. I know we did.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the over that I liked What the hell was it? I can't remember now.
Pearlo wins the pick of the night.
You
Over
like Seattle, Vegas. You like the Seattle Vegas over.
Seattle, Vegas. Yeah,
Okay,
you like the over. I said that already.
But I
I
like
said
that
that,
one.
and I'll tweet it out.
Yeah, let's do that. Do that. Okay.
And I'll do Rico's. Rico, you like too? You like Ottawa?
St. Louis and Ottawa.
You like the over?
Yeah.
I didn't talk about the total, but I like St. Louis and Ottawa with the Jake Neighbors, Brady Shen props.
Oh, you like Jake Neighbors, Brady Shen props. What were those props?
He likes St. Louis to win the game, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, St. Louis in the points. Yeah, plus 110. You're with me on that. Okay. Let's do Jets Devils. By the way, Kings scored again, 5-0. I'm not even going to update the score, guys, because we're leaving here soon. Jets Devils. We missed Jets Devils.
I'll take the Jets there all day.
Devils
all day.
Devils look really good against the Penguins.
Really, I know. Jake Allen's been playing really, really well with them for them. Brossois already confirmed in that game. New Jersey's got 4 games in 6 nights. Coming off that,
they have to win. They have to win. No, they're in it still. They're in it. They got to win. This game means a lot more to win. I think it means a lot to Winnipeg, by the way, and I think they're going to play a great game. But I think this might be this is the do or die game for the New Jersey Devils, right? If you were going to take plus money on the Devils ever again, this is the game you got to do it, right?
I guess, but
they pulled Fleury.
Oh man.
Yeah, they pulled him. Gustafsson's in with 12:26 left in the second.
And this was a huge game for Minnesota as well.
Yeah, it's a really bad game for them. You can tell by Marcus Foligno's pick on the bench, his look. They fucking fumbled the bag.
Oh, Foligno just slapped one right against the glass too after that goal went in.
Yeah.
Under 6 is what I like in that game.
With the Jets, you like the under 6? Okay, and you like this under. Okay, Pearlo likes the under in the Jets Devils. Rico, you like the Jets outright.
Yeah, regular rest. New Jersey's been playing a lot of hockey. I know they need to win this game, but the Jets want to win that Central Division too. They don't want to play Colorado or Dallas.
No.
Yeah.
If the Jets win, it's going to be under, and I think the Jets will likely win. So I'm going to go the under.
Yeah, good call. Because New Jersey can't score and Winnipeg doesn't light it up either. So.
Yeah.
And real quick, last game, Preds at Panthers. That's a good game, man.
Yeah, Florida Panthers for me. Yeah, Panthers haven't played since Thursday. They're coming off 2 losses. Don't overthink it. Florida's coming out in this game. They got some rest.
What about a Reinhardt to get to 50 prop? Tell me what you could get on that, because he's at 48. He could get 2 goals in this game easy. He's at 48, 50.
That'll give you good odds. Yeah. I'd say that's probably about plus 400 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the type of odds I want. Put a hundo on plus 400. I'm out $100 if I lose, but if I win, we're going to steak dinner, boys.
Well, I don't have this game on my site yet.
Okay. Pearlo, why don't you give me your pick for Preds, Florida?
What do we got for a total on that one?
I have a total on that one as 6.5.
Oh, under all day long.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, all day long. Under.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you guys think it's going to be an under kind of game? Well, if you bet the under, I would bet 2-goal Reinhardt score.
Saros and Bobrovsky.
If you're going to 6.5, that is an under all day.
Yeah, with those 2 goalies, I agree, and both teams are actually outstanding defensively. I mean, I would say Nashville probably has the best defensive forwards in the league, and they're playing like it. And I could make the argument that Florida has the deepest defensive team in the league as far as their defensive depth, and their forwards are pretty damn good at playing.
I'd say Florida has the best defensive forwards in the league. Nashville's right up there, but I would say Florida has the best 2-way forwards in the league. So, yeah, give me under here. These 2 teams, Nashville's going to play this tough for sure, no doubt about it. Yeah, this seems like an under for sure. I agree with Rico.
Okay,
though.
yeah, let's let Rico give his
Florida.
pick, and then we can end the show. Fucking 20.
Yeah, no, Florida all day on some rest, coming off 2 losses. Florida's going to come out and take it to Nashville here.
All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your hard work and your picks. Leave a like, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, FFSN, NHL Nightly on those 2 platforms. Or you can watch us live on Twitch, live on X, live on YouTube, or live on Instagram. We were live on Instagram tonight. I didn't get the obligatory we were off Instagram, but maybe they're letting us stream longer because we're doing a little bit more. So we might have got a whole couple hours on it. If you jumped on Instagram, we appreciate you. I think Instagram is still going, so we'll see. Anyway, it is. We got a little bit longer. We got some people in there. That's pretty awesome. Hey, appreciate all you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Last show of the week. I'm going nuts. I got dog appointments all week. My wife is gone. It's craziness. We got playoff races galore, and Pearlo and Rico are going to give you kick-ass picks. Check us out. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends. We love you guys. See you tomorrow.